I'm Sarah Coates. Thanks for joining me here on the News Desk. Well, let's kick off this bulletin right here in Israel, where health officials are telling local media that Israel's coronavirus situation is the most hopeful since the pandemic began. Well, encouraging signs are emerging, such as a major drop in positive test results, with the health ministry saying that just 2.9% came back positive on Thursday, the lowest it's been in months. Well, it now looks as though Israelis will be able to celebrate Passover with their families, in stark contrast to this time last year when restrictions on the holiday were in place, with the former coronavirus czar announcing that another lockdown is unlikely. And for more on the situation, let's bring in our correspondent, Daniel Semach, who joins us there from the streets of Tel Aviv. Hello, Daniel. Certainly looks busy out and about there behind you, people taking real advantage of these restrictions being lifted. Tell me, what is the feeling out and about on the streets today?
It's definitely very positive, Sarah. I can tell you that people are out and about here as if it's an absolutely normal Friday in the Levinsky Market. Now, this is a market that is generally bustling on Fridays, and it has been for several months now even. Levinsky Market being one of the few places that's been slightly open even during the pandemic, but nothing compares to what we're seeing now. Behind me, Sarah, are markets. You also have coffee shops. People are sitting at tables in front of the coffee shops. People are sitting at the bar. People are sitting outside of the markets, are buying groceries, are sitting on the street. People are just enjoying a Friday. Obviously, nice weather also today, but there's no question that you are starting to feel in the atmosphere that people are getting ready to go back to normal, that in some ways and in some respects, the COVID-19 pandemic is behind a lot of these people. Of course, it's not just yet, but there's no question that we are heading towards normalcy, and that the shop owners feel it, the patrons that are frequenting these shops, that are frequenting the bars and the restaurants feel it. Definitely a lot of positive atmosphere here in the Levinsky Market, also elsewhere in Tel Aviv, and also elsewhere throughout the country, Sarah. There's no question that this does appear to be the return that everyone has been waiting for to normalcy, to routine. And of course, as you can tell, it's bustling, which means that people are buying things. The commerce is starting to see a resurgence. It's starting to see a rebirth, and there's no question that the shop owners here have been desperately waiting for that. So definitely a very great thing to be experiencing here on Friday in Tel Aviv's Levinsky Market, Sarah.
You're certainly right about that, Daniel. And tell me, what is the very latest regarding the reopening of the airport? We know that a number of Israelis have been able to fly back here daily, but with elections approaching just 11 days away, what will happen to those people trapped abroad?
Right, so this is where things get a little bit more murky, a little bit more complicated, Sarah. It does appear as though there's going to be a more widespread push from within the Israeli government and different authorities to return back to normal, also in regards to opening the skies. We saw the skies opening slightly. It seems as though they might open even more for a time. There was only flights from New York and Frankfurt, Germany. Now we're seeing that list going to be extended with more cities, more destinations. So even there, when it comes to the Ben Gurion International Airport, it might not be like here in the Levinsky Market, but soon enough we do hope that the skies will reopen. But definitely we are seeing that the Israeli Transport Authority, the Israeli government, and the health ministry are being a little bit more cautious when it comes to reopening the skies. We are still seeing these variants affecting part of the population, but there's no question that even in the last couple of days we've seen record low numbers in regards to infection rates, in regards to serious cases. So as long as that continues, we're going to see the same sort of trend happening for the Israeli airport as well, Sarah.
All right, well, certainly welcome signs we are seeing there, Daniel, behind you, people out and about enjoying this lovely day. Thank you for that, and we'll come back to you a little later on. For more, let's bring in Professor Navad Davidovich, who is the director of the School of Public Health at Ben Gurion University. Professor, thank you so much for joining us today. Some welcome news we are hearing from many health experts around the country. What is your take regarding the comments that Israel is largely out of the woods?
I think that we have great news. The vaccines are working beyond our expectations. We are very proud that Israel is a kind of a model country that all around the world, we are spreading the information. The vaccines are safe. They are protecting not just on the individual level, but also from infecting other people. Of course, nothing is 100%. And since we are not yet into herd immunity because there are not vaccines for children, so we are returning to the new normal, but we still need to be careful in terms of large gatherings, especially indoors. But in general, we see the reduction in the number of severe cases. We see the reduction in the percentage of positive rates. And this is mainly because of the vaccines. But we need to add on top of that rapid tests. So in order that people that are not vaccinated can also return, especially children that cannot be vaccinated. And we need to see how to open the educational system in a safe way, having the teachers being vaccinated, and see also that people that are above 50, there are still about 250,000 that should be vaccinated. This is saving lives. It's for sure now. But vaccines are not going to solve the problem of the under-budget healthcare system. There are many healthcare workers that were stressed. We need to see how to take care of them. We need to see how non-COVID issues are taken care. And also for the long term, the long COVID consequences for those who are recovering. We have a lot to do ahead of us.
Yeah, you're certainly right. There are a lot of very stressed out and overworked healthcare professionals who've really been administering, healthcare to so many people for such a long time. Do we know yet, Professor, just how long these vaccines will last? How long until people have to go and get a booster shot?
So officially, we're talking about 6 months, but it's quite clear that it's more than that. We can for sure already say that 8 months, but this is not just related to the vaccine, it's also about the new variants. The current ones are covered by the vaccine, even if some of them may be a little bit less than 95%, but still very high efficacy. We need to continue and do the surveillance. There is an option that there'll be a seasonal vaccination program. In any case, we are waiting to see that children can be vaccinated and probably to introduce it on the vaccine schedule for everybody. There are studies now also for children age of 6, but this will not happen before the summer, and so it will be relevant for next academic year.
Well, Professor Davidovich, it's certainly great to see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel there. Thank you so much for coming on and chatting to us.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, there are concerns over harmful side effects from the AstraZeneca vaccine, with a number of European nations suspending its use. Denmark, Iceland and Norway putting the brakes on the rollout of the shot as health authorities investigate whether it could be linked to an increase in blood clots after a woman in her 60s died from that. Well, the health body's stressing, though, that the investigation is just a precaution with no solid evidence at this stage. And we do need to go out for a short break, but when we get back, just 11 days left until Israelis head to the polls for the fourth election in just under 2 years. We'll bring you the very latest right after this. Stay with us.